Hello, my name is Elon Shmoish. This is my final litter survey project for Chem 117. So here's the map. These were my two locations. They were in Houston, Texas. The first one was a outdoor shopping center, and the second one was a local neighborhood park. So for the outdoor shopping center, it was 200 meters squared, and it was an urban area with lots of buildings for shopping as well as a garage and lots of foot traffic by people. It was a very public area. Looking at the second location, which was a local neighborhood park near my home, there was a recreational center with tennis courts, four tennis courts, as well as a small play area where people picnic or children played, and it was along the bayou, and the area was 100 meters square. Looking at the data, for both locations, carbon was the majority with 74% in the outdoor shopping center and 78% in the local neighborhood park, followed by a small amount of metal and then very small amounts of silicon for both locations. This checks out because both these locations are for public, for consumers, not really industrial areas. And a lot of the trash, looking at these graphs, um, a lot of the trash for both of these locations fall into other food, beverage, and cleaning, which makes sense because for others, a lot of the others were receipts, which makes sense for the outdoor shopping center. A lot of people go in there buying stuff, and a lot of people didn't throw away the receipts. And for the other here, there's like scraps of paper or tinfoil, stuff that may have belonged to beverage or food. I wasn't sure, so I put in the other, but most likely materials used from a picnic, which makes sense since it was a very common place to do that. And by the density, while there is double the area in the outdoor shopping center, there's still more other because it was a lot heavier foot traffic there than the local neighborhood park. Moving on, for the chemical compositions of items, for carbon, I went with the receipt since it was a very common item, and its main components are BPA and cellulose. For the metal can, for the metal, I use a beer can, which main components are aluminum, which the can is made of, and again, BPA, because it's used to line the can. So it's protected from outside sources, out from deterioration, pretty much. For silicon, I found a pair of glasses, which I used, and the main component was glasses, which the lens are made of, and cellulose acetate, which the frames are made out of. Moving on, for BPA, its turnover rate is relatively fast. It deteriorates very quickly in water and in nature and doesn't really accumulate over time. It doesn't like lie there, it goes away. But its main issue that's harmful to living organisms. It can be absorbed through the skin and it can cause malfunctions in reproductive organisms. So when it builds up in an area after a while and it goes into the animals and into the ecosystem, it can mess up a biome because they can't reproduce. Moving on to cellulose. Cellulose, it takes 4 to 6 weeks to decompose in soil and it dissolves quicker in water. But the problem with it is that deforestation to make paper is bad for the environment. And it's a very large polluter. And some of the materials used to create paper can emit toxic gases, which is bad. But the cellulose paper itself is not necessarily harmful by itself, but when created, it can be. Aluminum takes a very long time to decompose, 200 to 500 years to degenerate through oxidization. Because it is a pure metal, it's not biodegradable. And the buildup of aluminum can be harmful to aquatic life, and it can really damage animals' gills. But aluminum is 100% recyclable, and it saves more energy that way. Glass can take thousands to even millions of years to naturally degrade. It's not biodegradable, but glass is 100% recyclable, and it can be naturally eroded by the ocean. Glass is very safe for the environment since it's like a natural stone made from sand. It's like very natural and it doesn't really hurt animals that much or environments. It really only hurts when large amounts of glass and it can cut animals. Cellulose acetate, it's common in glass frames. It takes 4 to 9 months to fully deteriorate in soil. It deteriorates faster in water and quite a lot of it's produced every year. So it's important to get rid of it naturally. It's 100% recyclable and it's not toxic to animals, but it does degrade slowly, so buildup over time can be a problem in natural environments. Thank you so much. These are my references. Have a good day.